Started there. How many years ago in QVC?
About
now?
5.5, almost 6 now.
Okay, almost 6 years ago. But Germack has been in the industry for decades, and they never cease to amaze me with these delicious flavors, many of which they make only for us, like this one. You can't find the cinnamon apple pumpkin spice gourmet medley anywhere else, and this really is like new for the year, because we added on once, and we added on last year.
That's right.
And it took us a year to get it back, so it's probably the first time you're seeing it. 3 gorgeous jars of this mix, and it's in 44791. Lock it into auto delivery so you don't have to wait a year for it to come back in again. And tell us a little bit about what goes in here, because there's a couple of unique ingredients.
Unique ingredients that we had it on once last year, and the only reason that it was very popular. The only reason it didn't come back immediately is because we were making the transition into chocolate time.
Right.
And so this is a fall mix, and you described things like this wonderfully. You said something about, this is comfort food in a jar.
Yep.
And how many things, you know, how many things can you say that about? Not many.
Truly,
Not
look at
many.
these ingredients.
And these are different. You're right. This is one that's a little bit different. We're going to start right down here, and I'm going to show you. You know this one. This is inspired by you. This is cinnamon spiced pecans. The ones that you've told us you love so, so very much. And I broke one open for you to show you the thickness of the cinnamon and that big, huge pecan in there. That just smells like fall. It feels like fall. It tastes like fall. When you open the jar, you can smell that cinnamon. Then, these guys are unbelievable to me. These are apples, dried apples with a little bit of cinnamon dusting. Look though, the skin is still on. It still looks like an apple.
Can I jump in here for just a second?
Jump right on in.
This is what blows my mind about these. I want to turn it this way because I want to show you this. This actually snaps. These apples are crisp. When was the last time you had a dried apple that wasn't chewy like an old tire? These are still crisp. That doesn't exist out in the market.
No, it doesn't. I looked at some pictures of some dried apple on the internet the other day, and they were pretty scary looking. This looks like it's still an apple, and it is crisp, but not too crisp. It's perfect. Look at that, and you can see the little bit of whisper of cinnamon right there. Look at that.
They're tender crisp.
The tender crisp and a little bit of whisper of cinnamon. So we've got 2 cinnamons side by side, but not overdone. Now we have our pepitas. We batch roast our pepitas for you. You can see that. You can see that batch roasting process, a little teeny bit of char on there. That's batch roasting in the Germack tradition. You don't have to pull that sludge out of the middle of a pumpkin and shell your pumpkin seeds and all that. No.
There's a lot that goes into pumpkins, I'll just say, to do anything with them.
We do this for it, and the roasting really brings out the flavor in the Germack tradition. Then we have honey roasted sesame chips.
You know what? They almost look like pretzels, but they are not.
No,
they're honey roasted sesame sticks.
Sesame sticks, and they've got a little bit of sweetness to it, that whisper of honey. You can tell by the color, and it hits just a little bit of that sweetness in here. And then down here, never underestimate the peanut. Germack shells these, and we get the skin off of them, and we batch roast them in the Germack tradition, and they are so creamy, they turn almost to like peanut butter in your mouth to me.
You know what?
And so this is a unique mix. I adore it. Comfort
Do you know
food
what
in a jar.
I love about this mix? And you are right that, I mean, we talked about this in one of the other mixes we had on a couple of weeks ago, that it is like comfort food in a jar, that just, it's so delicious. What I like about this mix in particular is some of the mixes, as we get further into the Christmas holiday, are definitely sweet-based. We're seeing some yogurt, we're seeing some chocolate, we're seeing all kinds of fun stuff for the holidays. And then we also have a couple of savory mixes in the collection, like the one that I helped to create with you guys, the savory mix with the crispy corn. This is a real balance between sweet and savory, because actually these sesame sticks have just a thread of sweetness, but they're really a little bit more towards the sesame savory side. And so this mix is a really, really, really great balance. By the way, 500 of these have now been spoken for. The textures of this one too, and that the apple plays a major part in that.
The apple is huge.
This is a much crisper mix in general, because it doesn't have as like a lot of the soft. It doesn't have a lot of the fruits like the cherries and the raisins.
Right. It doesn't have the berries. Yeah, and the apple.
Yeah, no berries.
Yeah, the apple is a different, texture than the berry. And again, the cinnamon spice pecans we have in a couple of other mixes.
That's
we started
a superstar.
Yeah, that's a superstar. Just a real rock star that you've asked for, and so kind of this is sort of doing this for you, because you tell us more. Cinnamon spice pecan. Look at that.
Look how pretty this is. This mix was really created. This is a fall style mix with all the flavors that we're talking about. And we had this on once last year in September. It's taken us a year to secure the ingredients to get this back on again, and we're getting it out there a little bit earlier this year, so you have a chance maybe to enjoy it a bit more before we roll into a lot of the holiday stuff, because probably the same thing will happen this year.
The same thing will happen.
Within a month, we're going to get in a chocolatey business.
Yes, we are.
And we're not going to see this as much. So here's the deal. You can do auto delivery on this. So you're getting this right away for your first shipment. If you want to lock this into auto delivery, here's the cool part. While it is essentially made for the fall, it's only made for us. If you like this, you still keep it coming to you every 60 days for 1 full year, even though maybe it's not on the air for a full year. If you're locked in, you get what you want. You're on the list, the proverbial list, so to speak. So you get it before we can ever secure enough in to have a whole separate airing to show it on TV.
That's true. And I want to reach over and grab, because I want to
Please.
find one with the label on it, because here's the other hook right here. These are packed fresh only when you order. And I do have Wally in the warehouse at Germack in Michigan on speed dial, and I did. That is the truth. And I actually text him before I leave when I'm not driving. And this fresh, exactly,
I wasn't going to accuse you about
when
texting while driving.
but he puts that freshness seal on there. That will last you 1 full year if you don't pop that freshness seal.
And that's
that's what it's going to look like when it comes to your house, because it's packed fresh. You can see all the ingredients. We're not hiding anything from you, not at all. But you're right, this is comfort food in a jar, very unique. We only have one other mix now that has, it's that apple. It's something about that apple.
Yeah, look at this apple.
I mean, yeah, it's just, it's snacks, you know.
This is just one
and
of
you
those
can
pieces,
see the cinnamon.
Look, it breaks gently and cleanly. So yes, it is tender, but it's not chewy. That's what it's not. If you're looking for a chewy tire, you can find that somewhere else, because Germack's not doing it.
No, Germack's not doing too chewy. And I told you, I saw some pictures of some dried apple on the internet this morning. It looked pretty. They look like
so good.
They look pretty scary. So if you look at the pile of this too down in the front, you can see the skin and that whisper of cinnamon and the cinnamon spiced pecans.
And when you get this home, I mean, the time is now. It's still, it's the first week of school, and it's still pretty steamy here, but there have been a few mornings last week where I got up to let the dog out.
And it was cooler.
It was a little cool.
It was cooler.
It didn't feel like a hot box when I went outside, and I thought, wow, fall is coming. And on that first day when you wear a long sleeve shirt instead of a short sleeve one,
loving it.
Even if you're not going to get into this right away, get into it right away if you want to, but if you want to save it for that first morning when you have that warm cup of tea, when it gets a little
this
cold
is great
out,
with tea or
people
coffee.
coming over to the house, kids are going to love this. And you know what else too? You're going to love giving this to your friends and family, because these are real ingredients. This stuff isn't created in a lab somewhere. Like, you'd be surprised at all the garbage that's actually in a lot of the snack mix things, the stuff you make yourself. They have to be loaded with preservatives because they're out in the air all the time. They're sitting on a shelf for who knows how long before someone scoops them into a bag. That's
the problem, and that's why you can't find it. That's why our ingredients look like this, because other ingredients have been sitting out. They do have preservatives in them. They're all separate up here in front, again, until I dial Wally in the warehouse on speed dial and say, okay, this many, these folks want this many. And a lot of the Germack customer, the very smart Germack customer, will say, I ordered more than one, thank goodness, because they went bye-bye.
Exactly. Or do the auto delivery in this case, knowing that another set is coming to you only 2 months after your first set of 3. So, by the way, how many was that, Frank? 1,400 of these are now gone. We haven't had this on in a full year. It was only on once. It's popular again today. And 44791. Thank you so much, my dear. We'll see you soon, I'm sure.
Yes, hope so.
And please stay with us, because we've got a lot of great ideas happening on QVC tonight. I will see you next for Fashionably Early, Friday morning, 6 a.m. And then the big Star Wars show, live audience at 5 p.m. on Friday, same day. But Jill Bauer is coming up next, and she's got great things coming your way. Hi, Jill.
Hi, Sharon. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Great to see you. We are going to be busy in this hour because we've devoted a full hour to great products from Sunjo. We're going to be talking about